realize how healthy they're eating, and kind of ease the parents and the educators that, the kids are getting the nutrition that they need, because we all know that when you don't get the nutrition you need, you don't learn. You just don't learn. So what was it? We were 40-something out of an international study on where we placed in education, or testing program. Yeah, internationally we were in like the 40-something out of all the countries in the world.
China was number one.
Yeah, so we definitely need better nutritional programs in our schools, and we just this past week Congress passed a bill worth $4.5 billion that's going to push more money into nutritional programs for children.
So now you get your business going, you got your target, you sort of got your mission now. Money. What were you doing about money with this? How are we going about that, and how are you trying to get angels to be involved in this? Are you crying, or what are you doing?
Are you watching me? No, it's actually been, I was always accused, in the Navy, my superiors would say, oh, you need a thicker skin, and, because I'd say something I didn't like and I'd go cry. And one of the things I've really enjoyed about this process is that when you go into it realizing they're not there to be your friend, and when there's a question, you have to be able to, if not have the answer then, you have to find the answer. And then you build on that for the next venture capital presentation. But it's been really, I actually do enjoy it, because if this company is going to succeed at the level that our business plan says, we need to have everything answered. And all the bugs, I want the bugs to be worked out before we get the funding and before we start production, because I don't want to learn them during production.
Your first presentation to a venture capitalist, how was that? How did that work?
Well, after I had the mini heart attack about an hour before, because I realized I didn't have, one of the financial sheets I really wanted, the P&L statement, I hadn't quite finished, because we did transfer from the nonprofit to the for-profit business plan, so everything needed to be reworked. So I was a little nervous going into it, but it was actually, I found a way to make them laugh, and I found that humor can really diffuse the situation, and I'm really honest about my background. One of I think the most important things in one of the meetings I had yesterday was that I was very upfront with my management gaps. If you've had to put together any type of a business plan or anything, or go to venture capital, you realize that one of the things they're looking for is they want you to know what your weaknesses are, because they don't want you to have to find out during production. So I realized that I'm not a manufacturing executive. And so for me, part of filling in my management gap is getting a C-level executive into the company who has that experience. Am I going to have to sign over a portion of the company to him? Probably. I'm willing to do that, though, because without a person like that, this company has less of a chance of success.
So now you're out there pitching, okay? You're pitching to try to have this product come to launch when? When were you trying to do this?
Well, ideally, and even some of the economic development officials said, wow, that's pretty aggressive. But we really would like to have some product into schools for the August-September 2011 time frame. We've done so much legwork already that even Alan Levin, the director of our State Economic Development Office, told a committee, we're ready to go. I mean, we're basically ready to go. We've done work it's been almost 2 years that this project has been under development. So we've worked out a lot of kinks. We have, a few more to work out, but there are a few things on our side, like real estate. We're not looking to purchase at this point, we're looking to lease. So manufacturing facility lease is not something that everyone's coming into Delaware looking for, and there's a lot of space available. So one of the benefits is really being able to leverage the economy in areas that we really can benefit from.
Now, you want to keep a Delaware-based company?
Oh, yes. I mean, it could be Delmarva soy, right? But
right.
Del Soy is the name, and the product's based on Delaware soybeans. There are almost 200,000 acres of soybeans grown in Delaware. For every acre, there are 60 bushels of soybeans. So we could try to exhaust the supply in Delaware, but I've been informed by the Secretary of Agriculture there's no way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Very, very cool. Your life now. 24/7.
I'm sorry, my what?
Having your own business is 24/7 already.
Mhm.
You have 2 kids. You're married, husband, everything.
Yeah, that's
How you
that's how I do it.
How are you handling it? How's that going? What's going on? Are you scared, or is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell us what's.
absolutely. I'm scared. And it's completely normal, by the way. Even millionaires that I've been, educated by have said this is a very normal process because, I'm used to the very stable, predictable life of, yesterday, and to jump from one type of life to another is very scary.
Right.
I don't really know. I know what it's like to come home to the normal house, the normal routine, the kids, but to really step outside of what's normal and realize that you can fall, that the family, financially, we've prepared the best that we can, but we are human, and I'm not from a family of wealth, and so we're going on what we personally have just, compiled over a short period of time. It's always a balancing act, and I remember years ago reading something from a female executive out of New York was talking. She was interviewed for a big piece in a magazine, and she said there is no such thing as balance. There isn't. The focus is just constantly shifting. When I feel like I haven't had enough time with the kids, I will pause. I will look for an opportunity. I'll spend time with the kids. Same with my husband. There are times where I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm married. And there might be this other person who might want to have a conversation with me at some point. Things tend to get dropped, of course, but the business, I think when having my husband on board, my kids, I think I'm seeing some things come out which are pretty cool. My daughter said she wants to be a doctor, a nurse, a store helper, a teacher, and a mommy. So I think I'm raising her to realize that you can pretty much do anything you want, and so there are some benefits and drawbacks to being always involved in the business. But
And guys, anytime you have any questions, here, go ahead.
How are your kids reacting to a business with such a strong social message?
since they're 4 and 6, my son loves soybeans. That's kind of his takeaway from all this. I don't think they understand yet the social message. I think what they're getting more is that what I've communicated to them is not really so much about the business, but about mommy is helping create a product that is helping people all over the world. This is about having something readily available at what we hope will be a cheaper cost, that will be eligible for some food aid programs that will go to help children who don't have, can't go out for pizza like we do on Friday night, and things like that. So it's really about trying to help them appreciate what they have, so that they can kind of maybe have more of an understanding of the value of what I'm doing.
Very cool.
Actually, the guy who started it up, he said he sold you the business. What happened there as far as suddenly he's like, all right, I don't want to do this anymore? Or?
No, I kicked him in the knees. He fell down. He signed. Actually, he had another business. This came because he lost his mother after she got a cold, because a cold turned into pneumonia, and an elderly woman living at home eating mashed potatoes or whatever, a cookie just to satisfy hunger, isn't getting the nutritional requirements that she needs. So he set out on this huge mission of trying to figure out why this happened, and he came across the soybeans, and it just ballooned into this huge project. And he has another job. He was more than willing to see it through. When he brought me on and he realized the energy and just the vigor that I brought to the project, he realized at some point that he was hindering the progress, because there were things that, as not being the owner, I couldn't move forward with without his approval. So it got to the point where he realized that he was really hindering progress, and he has since, even before we completed the paperwork, he said, go, just go, off you go. And I haven't had to ask him questions, and things have moved forward a lot more quickly since then. So, I owe him kudos, first of all, for recognizing that maybe him being at the helm wasn't the best position, and for really being willing to give up control. I think that was a difficult decision for him, but he knew that it was definitely necessary.